Here we go, episode 26, Prevailations Podcast. We are Sean and Danny from Prevail Strength and Fitness and other things that we do. You know, all those other stuff we do.
All those other things.
Gym owners and soon-to-be parents. Terrifying.
Terrifying. Like, we hit 40 weeks this weekend. So.
Wild. And so we also have done... So gym owner things, strength training stuff, nutrition coaching for a very long time, Danny's Lean Strings program, and some adventure things along the way. Today we're going to dive in to nutrition things, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Nutrition things.
Nutrition things. Today we're going to talk about why you're not eating enough, starvation mode, and in-body and data expectations.
Yeah, if you're watching right now, I'm rubbing my belly because we are not in starvation mode currently.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's just
let's talk about InBody real fast. If you're a Prevail student, you already know what the InBody is.
Yep.
If you're not a Prevail student, the InBody is.
I'm sure you still know. And
yeah.
if you they're going to become, which this is so surprising because where were we? We were so surprised that the InBody. Oh, it was like VA was talking about how they're still using BMI, and for the most part, for most health hospital reasons, BMI is okay, but InBody is a company. Mm-hmm. They make scales that measure. Depending on they make stuff from like at home that measures body fat, muscle mass, mm-hmm. All the way up to like super high end medical grade, like really dialed in, like every sort of fluid and tissue in your body. Yeah. They are within a couple percentages as accurate as the most accurate version of a DEXA, which is one of the most accurate ways, but is not as accessible. Mm-mm. And it's more expensive, it's more laborious, it's more time, it's more space. But the InBody is a great tool. 9 out of 10 gyms have them. Most supplement stores, Triad definitely has one in all their stores. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. Yep. And they're a phenomenal tool to really learn what's happening for your recipe, for your body composition goals. Yeah. Because for the longest time, it was just scale weight and that's it. And measurements. Yeah. So scale weight measurements and then body fat calipers have been around for a very long time. Yes. But you had to be highly skilled, and it also took a little bit of time. It was a little more invasive with this because you literally had to pinch all your fat. Yeah, it's not as fun. It's not as fun, but it was pretty accurate and still is accurate tool. But it's just like to do it takes. You have to learn the skill of doing it, and you have to have the space and the time, and you have to pinch people's fat. And it's not fun. It's not the most fun thing. So InBody is a scale that measures those things. Yes. And they have different variations of intensities of mm-hmm. like how expensive and how accessible they have those InBodies. Yeah. We have them at both studios. We have one that's detailed, but not super detailed, but it's super convenient and it's super fast mm-hmm. at Edmond. And we have another one that's a little bit slower, takes a little bit longer, is more detailed out of the Yukon. Mm-hmm. Pros and cons either way. Yep. The more detailed one just gives you more information, takes a little bit longer to do. Yep. But what we really want to talk about Prevail students, so if those that are watching or about to be Prevail students, or if you join Prevail, if you have a body composition goal, and by body composition we mean, which we've gone over before in other podcasts, we mean the ratio of fat to muscle. Yes. Is basically what is your body composed of, mm-hmm. right? And the thing that we love about the InBody and at the both studios is that they're open access for anyone at any time. Yep. So you can get on it whenever you want to and whatever frequency, because we love to teach a process. Well, everything. We love teaching processes and systems. Yes. Because that's how you become individualized, right? The other part about it is you get to learn data. Mm-hmm. And if you can learn trends in data, you get to learn your own individual recipe. Yep. Yeah. Right.
And the more data we have, the more information that we can help.
Right. Right. Because it's basically, and we talk about, like loving, like we have science and we, all the things that we, most of everything we've done in Prevail is some version of backed off of some sort of science,
Yeah.
or experience. And you are your own science experiment.
Yes.
Right? Now, there are a bunch of predictables. There's a bunch of like hard rules when it comes to the science behind weight loss, fat loss, muscle gain, body recomposition.
Yeah.
But everyone's recipe is slightly different. It's just the principles remain the same.
Yep.
So we can talk about kind of hard and fast rules when it comes to nutrition, but really everyone's recipe is way different than someone else's recipe, which makes nutrition very nuanced.
Yes.
The InBody is one of the many tools that helps us learn that recipe.
Yes.
Okay.
So we know what's happening.
Right. What else do you want to talk about from the InBody?
That's it. I was just going to give a brief overview
Yeah.
of what the InBody was.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Just in case.
Just in case. That's when we reference the InBody.
That's
when
what
we're talking about.
It's a very detailed scale
Yep.
to give you what your body fat and muscle mass and
Yep.
water, depending on what machine you're on.
Yep. So when we're talking about, the first part was starvation mode and why you aren't eating enough to see results. Okay. Where do you think that started coming from? Because, I mean, I've heard about this idea of starvation mode. Geez, it's got to be 15, 20 years now of this language behind starvation mode.
I don't know. I mean, I probably heard of it when I got into the fitness world a little bit. But I don't know where it comes from. Like,
yeah.
You know, like I don't know who like came up with this idea.
Yeah, I remember when it first became popular, and I was very young into training. I meant, my first 1 or 2 years of being a trainer and being in this industry and thinking, well, it makes sense. And the idea is, in theory,
Okay.
right? Starvation mode is, in theory, the idea that if you're at a balance of your equation, right? So your input-output is constant. And
so like your exercise and your food are constant.
Right. So all those things, like your movement, all the stuff that makes up the energy equation are constant, and you're not seeing results. The theory is that you've put your body into a mechanism, right, that is starvation mode. It's like a button switched over, like a lever. And it said, very well, I am going to stop your body from making itself any smaller to preserve tissue. Okay, that's the theory.
Yeah.
And at first you think, well, that makes sense.
It does.
That the body would be smart enough to do that. Right, which the body is innately really smart. But then you think one more step, and that was what took off. That launched.
Yeah.
Now, I think from two reasons. It became popular because people who were stagnant in their results, and these people who were stagnant in their results, and we've seen this, are highly disciplined, highly type A, like dialed in, and they've been dialed in and disciplined for a very long time, not months, like years, right? These people added in food and then started seeing more and greater results. So in a causation versus correlation type of like science words, right, you think, oh, well, they added food in, which meant they got out of starvation mode that made their body happy.
Right. So then they, in theory, lost weight or their body
Right.
looks better.
Right. But it was actually correlation. Right. Because what was actually happening when they added food in?
They got more energy. Their
Right.
sleep was better. Their
Right.
stress was probably lower.
Right. Right. So now
They probably put more into their workouts
Right.
because they were
Right.
fueled better.
Right. So they're probably, their intensity and execution of their sessions were probably greater. Their daily movement probably increased.
Yeah.
Their sleep quality increased. All these things that make up the equation got better because they were fueling themselves more.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the food, they ate more to lose weight. They ate more that gave their body more positive stimulus to do more.
Yeah.
Which then said, very well, let me move some of this tissue away because I'm at a new balance of things.
Yeah. Like blinking is even faster
Right.
when you have more food. So it's just like little things that you wouldn't even notice that you have more energy to do throughout the day.
Right. Right.
Emptying the dishwasher faster, whatever it is.
Right. Right. Yeah. So starvation mode's not a thing. Right.
Right.
But there does come to a point when you hit the very bottoms of your equations where your movement is super high, your food is super low, and we're talking like this is a long time.
It's a long time.
This is months upon months upon months upon months of like, I've been eating 1,000 calories a day, walking 10,000 steps, doing 6 sessions of workouts a week. And I've been doing that for months and months and months and months and months and months. And I'm not seeing any more progress.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you get into, well, what happens if we actually add some food in to make the body happier so that the quality of things you're doing increase?
Yes.
And then you can see a progress change, right?
Yes.
Because you're just making the system happier.
Yep.
Now, we've taken that idea and then it's gotten regurgitated through the industry over and over again a bazillion times. So now we think, oh, I'm not seeing progress. It's because I'm not eating enough.
Right.
Which makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Because you're like, very well, I can eat more food.
Right. But then you're not going to hit the goals that you probably want to.
Right. Yeah.
It's so hard.
What are you pausing about?
Well, I'm like, there's different situations and scenarios that I'm like, well, yeah, but this is like a very, very small percentage of people. Like maybe 3 people that I've nutrition coached like ever were at this like point of like they had been cranking for so long and their food was so low that we actually needed to build their food up for them to see more results later. But they were still not in a starvation mode because they had hit a plateau and their body wasn't moving anything. Right. So if you're so low in food consistently.
I guess what would be the moving anything, that's where it gets weird. Because if starvation was real, you could, in theory, continue to eat less and do more indefinitely.
Yeah.
You would lose weight. Your effect on gravity will change.
Yeah.
If you continue to manipulate it. But what type of tissue will it start to take away?
All of it.
Every tissue.
Yeah.
So if you take a starvation mode and now you think, and this is unfortunately a little morbid, but if you think of like actual internment camps and starvation camps and prisoners of war.
Yeah. That's starvation mode for real.
That's them starving is the mode.
Yeah.
And you look at them and they look like they're dying because they are dying.
Yeah.
Their bodies are finding tissue to get rid of.
Yeah.
And that's not the same thing as someone who's trying to lose weight and it's like, oh, well, I'm not losing weight. I need more because I'm in starvation mode. No.
Right.
If you were to actually eat nothing for days on end and have quarter of a cup of rice for once a day for the next 6 months, yes, you will be. And then take that back to like, where are we at with Ozempic and the other peptides right now?
Right.
That's exactly what it's doing. It's just hacking all those hunger hormones to get you to not eat.
Yeah. We don't talk about this a lot. I don't think we've done a podcast on what we did for ourselves last summer.
No.
For like 3 months, but a little bit of this, I do feel like in the nutrition world, a little bit, there are some coaches that are like, you should never go below a certain amount of calories, all these things, your body's going to go into starvation mode. And like, while I believe you shouldn't live in this like low calorie diet phase, we pushed our calories very low last summer and continued to lose body fat and lose weight the whole time, and our bodies never went into starvation mode. They just kept changing. But it's a very hard process.
Yeah. We were doing a very specific type of like multi-day super low calorie with like refeed sequence that we were testing, which was effective. The other things that changed when we were super low, for me, like energy was
terrible.
So low. I mean, terrible.
Yeah. And we weren't training for any endurance event at the time.
Which is important because then you get into interference effect.
Yeah.
Which is, we'll talk about, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But you can go down to 500 calories a day.
Yeah.
Forever. And your body will continue to remove things from it. So all that to say is like the idea of starvation mode makes sense until you really think it through and you're like, wait a minute. What would happen if I actually was starving? I would become smaller.
I would become smaller.
Now, when it comes to having clients, there's 2 or 3 people that have increased...
And it might be more than 3 people, but
right.
it's pretty low.
Increased food to specifically only do what? To only drop body fat percentage.
Yeah, they didn't see a drop in the scale, but they saw a drop in body composition.
Right. And that's where, when we go back to InBody, that's why data is so important.
Yeah.
Because it tells you, okay, this is like what's happening with my recipe. And so adding in food, most likely carbohydrates for these people, right? Increase their ability to do more, which increase their ability to manage their energy equation, which then said, very well, my body is going to get rid of this specific type of tissue.
Yeah. And then there's the other side of it where if they were super low, and then you add food in, it's because they can't mentally dial it in even further to see more results. So we have to give them a break. We have to mentally and physically give them a break, add some food in, but you're still going to have to go into a deficit again to see results. Most of the time. Unless you wildly change your exercise and stress management and sleep or something.
If you think about a cadence of that, that's like, I'm going to spend 8 to 12 weeks in a diet phase, 8 to 12 weeks in a maintenance phase, 8 to 12 weeks in a gain phase. And if I'm cycling between those phases, then that's going to give the most long-term optimal gains. Because not only do I have a physiological break, I have a mental break that allows me to have capacity physically and mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all the things to get back into, man, this
cranking again.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of students who think that they're in those phases because they are doing more than they did before. Which is hard.
It's hard.
Not to take away. No one's doing things like, not like we're shaming them. They're not doing something wrong. Their expectations on the results compared to the data, compared to what they're doing, that's where it gets a little skewed. Because we think, all right, I was putting in 50% effort into my nutrition and 50% effort into my exercise and habits and steps. I start at Prevail or whatever exercise regimen you start. I start strength training. And now that has doubled my output because I was doing nothing. Now I'm doing 3 days a week. That's a considerable amount of output change, even though it's only 3 hours. Okay. I see some changes. I see my strength going up and I see my energy going up and everything's changing. All the great things about high quality strength training. I maybe see a little bit of dip in the scale, a little bit of dip in the body fat percentage. Well, let me like tighten up my nutrition a little bit. Going from 50% effort to like 70% effort, that 20% is a considerable amount of work, right? But it's not the 100% of work that it takes to actually get the results we think we want. That's where it gets super difficult.
And he's saying the results that we think we want. Most of the time, we're picturing this like extreme transformation. I mean, I do the same thing.
Why would we not? Why would we not do? So if we go back to InBody data and we layer that up, what is the appropriate expectation if we're using InBody data?
Okay. So if you're looking at body fat percentage, I would say if you are dialing in about 90% effort.
And let's define 90% effort.
So that means if you are, let's say you're tracking your calories and your macros, that you're hitting that 13 out of 14 days spot on.
Okay. Sure. So, and if we're not tracking macros or calories, which this makes it way difficult, let's just say I'm tracking habits, tracking a feel, I'm tracking the portion controls, I'm leading with protein, right? If I take 4 meals a day over 7 days, that's 28 meals. How many of those meals need to be like visually like, yep, that's a high quality, well portioned meal?
For 90%? Like 26 and a half.
Right. So, okay. So that's what that number means.
That's what that number means.
So we say, all right, if we're 90% on track, so it's like 26 out of 28 meals, 13 out of 14 days. Okay. Now, what is that result in the InBody?
I would say about 1% body fat in 4 weeks.
Okay.
And that's like on a high end. That's
middle ground. 2 asterisks here.
Yeah.
Depending where you are in your stage.
Yes.
So if you've been doing this for 6+ months.
Yeah.
And your habits, your nutrition, your food, your exercise are all...
You're at that 90%.
Okay. Let's say that they were all at like a normal 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Week in, week out.
0.5%.
Maybe 0.5%.
Yeah.
So bumping from like that 7 out of 10 to 9 out of 10, you're 6 months into this process. It's going to take a jump from 70% to 90+% to see a 1% monthly change in body fat percentage.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if it's before that, the numbers get skewed quite a bit.
Yeah,
if you're
if you're
new
just
to the
starting,
process, new to exercise, new to strength training, new to
protein,
new to any habits or nutrition changes, you can see 2, 3, 4, 5% changes monthly.
Yeah.
Just because of it's such a new stimulus to your body.
Yeah.
And then that percentages, they are going to taper off as you get going because your body's finding a balance.
Yep.
It's finding its homeostasis to be like,
yeah,
oh, this is normal.
Yeah.
And now to make adjustments has to be, do you think that the adjustments have to be more intense or more consistent once we get past that like beginner phase of 3 to 6 months?
More consistent.
Yeah. Because it's not going from 90% to 100% week after week.
Right.
It's holding at 90 week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
You really have to get past that like week 3, week 4 mark at 9 out of 10 to see those 1% changes.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this on many podcasts and to anybody that I've ever coached because I think it's important. But if I'm changing anything on my process and I'm going from 80% effort to 90% effort, it takes me at least 21 days to see 0.5 pound off of the scale. Yeah. Any kind of in-body change, anything. Yeah. That's 21 days of being...
Right. It takes 21 days. And this isn't a hard number. This is a good round average number for most people to think about in their process.
Just 3 solid weeks.
Like, it's going to take 3 weeks for my body to learn this adaptation.
Yeah. To just give a little wiggle change.
Right. It's not like week 1, week 2, why isn't things changing?
Right.
Well, your body could still be learning that process. I think where we get into like week 1, week 2 is when we go from like 20% effort into exercise nutrition habits to 80%.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh yeah, I'm seeing all these changes because you went from 20 to 80.
Yeah. 80
falls off within 2 or 3 weeks because of emotional and mental motivation.
Yeah.
We pull back down to our 50 and we hold.
Yeah.
And we bounce back and forth 50, 60, 70, 80, 50, 60, 70, 80, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then it's month after month after month after month of going like, why am I not seeing progress? And it's because we keep muddling that middle when it comes to the nutrition habits, maybe the exercise side as well. Yeah. Right. And then we think, well, what do I need to change? What's the thing I'm missing? Well, the thing that's missing is you haven't held that 1%, that 80 or 90% week after week after week after week after
long
week.
enough.
Right. You just have not done that long enough. And that's when we start to look for things like starvation mode and this exact macro, this exact type of like nutrition plan or meal plan, or then we start to look into other things. They're going to give us a shortcut, not a shortcut, but more of a direct response. Yeah. And really what it is like you just haven't given the high enough consistency for enough time. Yeah. And I just saw yesterday that there was like this data's been around, but it was another study that came out that was like calorie counters like Apple Watches are now like on average 40% over on average calorie output. Yeah. 40%. Yeah. That's so if you're using technology to base this calories in, it says you're 40% off.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
That's like I'm eating 2,000 calories. Oh no, wait, I'm actually eating like 2,900 calories.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
That's
that.
a huge
It's
huge number. So if we just think like I feel like I'm doing pretty good, and you have 40% in both direction of input output, you're never gonna have that information there. You're never. It's just too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, feel versus real is just not the same thing.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go back to starvation mode a little bit and give a couple different scenarios that might be helpful.
Okay.
Because when I heard about starvation mode, I was like, yeah, that's my problem. I'm not eating enough. And I was not. My calories were lower during the week, and then the weekend they were wild because I would hit Friday and be like,
right,
I'm going to go do all the things.
Right.
So I bumped my food during the week, which helped me. And I didn't realize it was happening. It helped me level out my weekends because I wasn't doing these extremes on high and low. But really, in reality, after 7 days, I was eating the same, or maybe a little lower, because I wasn't going balls to the wall on my Friday through Sunday.
Right.
So it's another, like, what we think is happening versus what's actually happening that can be helpful.
Right.
And then the other part is like, yeah, you're probably not eating enough protein.
Yeah,
and maybe you've heard that before.
Right. That's a great, right. When someone says you're not eating enough, you're not eating enough
protein.
What?
Right.
Yeah. Because if protein isn't there, what's the numbers for protein, roughly? 0.7 to 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, safely 1.5, 2 almost. So if you're at 0.7 to 1.7 protein per pound of body weight, you're in the range to make progress. If someone says you're not eating enough and you're at like the 0.5, so you're a 150 pound person, you're eating 75 grams of protein a day, you're like, well, you're not eating enough protein. We need to get to 100 grams of protein. Okay, now let's talk about whether or not we're eating. Because it's the same thing. We had the exact same conversation. Like, I could never eat that much. I'm like, well, let me back up a little bit. We just said I'm not eating enough to lose weight, but I can't eat that much to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of funky.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just us rationalizing it to make ourselves feel better. But, Yeah. So not eating enough protein. And I think the next thing, too, is like, I think the vast majority of people don't eat enough standalone carbohydrates.
Okay.
I think people think that they eat enough carbs because they think of carbs as in like, they had like spaghetti, or they had pizza, or they had French fries, or they have
a sandwich.
Sandwich or pancakes or whatever it is. They think those are carbs, which they are, but those are also like starches, which nothing wrong with that. But those things are 50% fat. And so then you see people thinking, I need to have appropriate amount of proteins and carbs, and they're consuming things like a muffin. This is a carbohydrate because it feels carbohydrate-y. But now you're over-consuming calories because of the fat content. And fat content is hands down the easiest to overeat. Because it is in everything. Because it makes everything delicious.
Yep.
So it's the easiest. I think a lot of people who are looking at their macros and looking at their food and not eating enough, you're like, you're not eating enough, like, just straight, like, white rice. Not eating enough straight potato. Not enough straight oats. Straight fruit. Right. It's always got to be with something else, and then we find ourselves
could be in that category too. Sourdough. Yeah, it's low in fat. Yeah.
Right. It's lower in fat. But if you think about, I mean, just depends on the type of bread too. Right. But bread is standalone is generally a pretty like higher carb, higher fiber, low fat thing. Yeah. We get into sandwiches, and well, what else is happening on the sandwich? Yeah. Right. Then we get into like, well, is it the lean type of protein? What kind of dressings on it? What type of other things is on top of it?
Fat adds up so fast.
It adds up so fast. I mean, you can have a delicious sandwich that's on sourdough
I love sandwiches.
And turkey, and then you add in the dressing and the provolone, cheese, and then and it's a delicious sandwich, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's where we get a little bit of like, I think that if people are eating standalone proteins, standalone carbohydrates, and then filling with fat, that they would have a much better approach to their macros without counting macros. I mean, that's how I don't count macros, but I've only don't count macros now because I've graduated from counting them forever. 15 years ago.
You can look at stuff and know.
Yeah, but if I'm like, I don't want to spend the energy, because I think this is where a lot of people get jacked up on their like counting and their 80 or 90%. So they're like, I am not going to count all these macros. I have all these things going on. I don't have the mental bandwidth to put the shit into MyFitnessPal and over and over and over and over again.
Sure.
Right? Which, fine, but we have to count something.
Yeah.
You can't just like not do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it comes to looking at your plate and looking at what's in front of you and being, okay, that's a protein by itself. And it is a leaner protein. So it's not like a pastrami or a 80-20 hamburger. It's like turkey, leaner ground beef, you know, all the things, chicken, all the things that we know are fish, are leaner proteins. They're with a carbohydrate that's simple. So if that's like eggs and rice, eggs and oatmeal, eggs and dry toast, or eggs with a tiny bit of like, I don't know, healthy fat.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like jam.
Or jam, right? You can look at that and go, okay, I can see where the macros are coming from.
Yeah.
It's when we get into like the prepackaged stuff, when we get into like muffins, that now everything just gets completely screwed. There's no way of really understanding what's happening when you're looking at like, or we go to lunch and you go, cool, let me get that salad with dressing on the side. Not that you can't have salad dressing.
Yeah.
But now I can at least portion control my dressing. Because if they're going to put 4 ounces of dressing, which is going to be 200 calories.
Yeah.
Compared to like me just using half of it, I can decrease calories in half by fat just by understanding the food I'm looking at.
Yeah. And if you're a Prevail student and we have gone over, which everyone goes over precision nutrition when they start, it gives you a really great breakdown of how to measure those hand portions. And if you were like, oh, well, I'm going to build my plate exactly like this 3 to 4 times a day.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, there's a lot of... Yeah, we get...
that could be something that you measure, and then you just check, okay, did I hit those 3 to 4 meals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Did I only hit them?
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Yeah, there we go. So we'll what to do? Like,
what to do?
You have stubborn, quote unquote stubborn weight you're not losing.
We all have a stubborn place. I'm going to throw that out there.
2 parts.
Okay.
There's the place our body wants to lose body fat from the last. Okay?
Which is what we call stubborn.
Which we also call genetics. Maybe some hormone things in there, right? Okay. But if the hormones are off, get your blood done so that you know they are or not off.
He said, get your blood done. We got a girl for that.
Yeah. Tiffany and Richie, just reach out to her. Know your numbers. So stubborn is going to be where my genetics say the last part of my body will lose fat.
Yes.
Okay. The other part about stubborn is I haven't been patient and consistent.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately, that's just the truth about it. Okay. So what is the recipe to get us past these quote unquote stubborn or into these stubborn sections? Time. So you got to put yourself in an expectation of time. Step 1. And what is that expectation?
How much time?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say at least 12 weeks to...
Yeah. Right.
There's also stuff with nutrition coaches that they don't like to push past a 12-week diet phase.
Yep.
I had my best results pushing into 7 months.
Right. Yeah.
So it depends on what your goal is and what you want.
Right.
But I mean, it might take longer than 3 months.
Yes. And it might take
phases.
It might. Yeah. So if you think about a minimum amount of time before you make adjustments.
3 to 4 weeks.
There we go. So we've got this window between 3 weeks to 3 months. Right? Inside of that window, that's your time expectation.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can start stacking the 3s.
Yes.
3 weeks, next 3 weeks, next 3 weeks. Keep holding at a process for 3 weeks. Make an adjustment, move. 3 weeks, make an adjustment, move. 3 weeks, make an adjustment, move. Keep doing that until you either A, mentally get to a point where you need a break.
Yes.
Right? B, have plateaus. Right?
Yes.
Or C, just want to take a different direction.
Yeah.
Right? So you make those 3s, you make those 3s, make those 3s. So you get to 3 months in. Physically and psychologically, you're going to have to get to 12, 16, maybe 20 weeks before you have to take a diet break to make your body de-stress, to get ready and happy enough to do it again. Diet break is not off. Diet break is back to maintenance, which you would have learned if with your 3-week process is what maintenance is.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 weeks at a time is a minimum time to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Stack as many of those 3s as possible.
As many.
Okay. Inside of those 3s, what's happening every 7 days from learning about your 3 weeks?
Doing weekly averages.
Weekly averages. Okay.
Whether that's your hand portions, your calories, and your scale weight, or in body.
Yep. There you go. Okay. And so
photos are great too.
Photos are great. In body data is, I think, the easiest to learn from, the fastest, the least subjective kind of data. So you have every 7 days of in-body. So now you have 3 data points over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You've got your input, which is however you want to track your input. I did this with protein for 3 weeks. I counted full macros for 3 weeks. I counted calories for 3 weeks. I counted hand portion control for 3 weeks. I, had a protein shake before bed every night for 3 weeks. Whatever your process in that recipe is for 3 weeks, keep it consistent.
Yes.
Pair that on top of the in-body data.
Okay.
Adjust. Do it again. Adjust. Do it again. Adjust. Do it again.
Now, if you only hit 3 days out of 1 week, then the only adjustment would be to hit more than 3 days for the next week.
Right.
So there might not be an actual adjustment in your process, but to be more consistent.
Until those 7 days, or we've talked about this every single podcast, until those 7 days are consistent, not perfect, consistent, you have no data to adjust from.
Yeah.
So even if you were to, and this is where doing it on your own, having education, or having a coach, this kind of depends on the track, right? If you are super consistent and you're analytical about the 7 days, you know exactly what's going on, you have all the data for 3 weeks, you can make an adjustment, just change one thing, go again.
Yep.
Now, you can either hire a coach to tell you which adjustment, or you can test and explore.
Yep.
Right? The other part of having a coach is getting you to that 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is to say, okay, well, here, this is your 3-week recipe. Then let's adjust. Let's talk about what needs to happen weekly to make an adjustment in 3 weeks from now. That's where a coach comes in. And this is stuff too. Like, I mean, you could even AI this. You could tell ChatGPT. Right? You could tell him, this is exactly what I've done for the last 3 weeks. Here's all my data. Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And it will tell you exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But ChatGPT or a nutrition coach only knows what to adjust when it has the inputs to learn from.
Yep.
Because you can tell ChatGPT, I've done this for 3 days for the last 3 weeks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it's going to say, we suggest that you track Monday through Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Which we should see. We should see what ChatGPT says.
Try
if we try
later.
that for 3 days, and we'll let you know.
I love to talk to ChatGPT.
Make an Instagram reel about that.
Yeah.
Of what it says.
Yeah.
So in-body.
In-body.
Use in-body weekly if you have any body composition goals. The habit of getting on in-body is an anchor to your nutrition habits, because you can prove to yourself that you can do something 1x a week. Just like exercise. I can prove to myself that I can do something 3 times a week. Then I can prove to myself that I can do this 1x a day with this macronutrient. You just keep stacking those things to build up to where you want to go.
Yeah.
If we're seeing data that's stubborn, so let's just say that it's the last part of my body that's stubborn. I'm not seeing it move.
Yeah.
But I have a somewhat consistent process of 8 to 10 a process.
Okay.
I've been getting on the in-body week after week after week. I have 3 data points, 6 data points, 9 data points. Now, is my stubborn thing not moving? Okay, yes, my stubborn thing is not changing. We go back to the data. Do you see a downhill trend in body fat percentage? Yes. Don't change anything.
No, just keep going.
Keep going. Right? Because that stubborn area just may be the very last thing. You may have to go from 29 to 27 to 25 to 22 to 19%
Yeah.
to see that stubborn thing move.
Yeah.
That's different than saying my stubborn thing isn't moving. I go back to my in-body data and I either have no data
Yep.
or I have a consistent, body fat percentage is holding.
Yep.
Okay, well, we need to learn what our recipe is to change our body fat percentage. Then keep pushing it until the mirror thing changes.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to learn whether or not our recipe for that stubborn thing is changing. Because you could be on the right direction.
Yeah, it is going to be the last thing to change.
It's just going to take longer than you want. And that's important for everyone to know.
Yeah.
Am I going down the right path? Okay, I just have to keep going down the path. But if you're only 2 data points into the path and you're like, I got to change something. You're like, well, we don't know yet. We don't even know if we're on the right track yet. We got to learn what that right track is. And unfortunately, most people's stubborn area is going to be midline.
Yeah,
right?
That's mine for sure.
It's just going to be, midline. I do not hold my weight midline. I hold my weight everywhere.
Yeah.
So my weight is distributed across all parts of my body.
Evenly.
Yeah. That's a genetic thing. Slightly male, but not really. It's more of genetics, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't really have a stubborn area as much as everything on my body doesn't look like the way I want it to go.
Sure.
Right? If I get leaner, it's not like I start seeing my shoulders more.
Mm.
It just my body just slowly changes. Yeah. Other people, you're going to see you can start to see someone's arms, their shoulders, their back get leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner.
Face.
And their face, and then nothing else. Other people, their legs get leaner faster.
Yep.
Some people's midlines get faster than their legs do. Some people, they lose their waist, and their legs are the last thing to go.
Yeah, or their arms are the last thing to go.
Right, and it's very individualized. It's all dependent on the humans that made you, and the humans that made them. Yeah. And the humans that you make.
Oh my gosh! I wonder what genetics we're handing down right now.
Okay, so starvation mode is not a thing.
It's not a thing, even though that would be a nice
it would be a nice, yeah. But there is a point where you may have to add in high quality food to see change, if you have the data to support that.
Yeah. And if you're not at a place to go lower because it's not going to be healthy, that's
Healthy defined as what? Like healthy body fat percentage?
Or your sleep's already trash, your period is off, your mood is terrible, all these things because you've been already at low calorie for so long. But you can always go lower calorie to lose weight.
Yeah. Right.
Right. But is that smart?
Right. Yeah. Is going down in total calories worth changing your effect on gravity if it means eating muscle, eating hormones, losing hair, increasing stress, decreasing sleep?
Yeah. But most of the time when people think they're in starvation mode, they're in a lower calorie Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, most of the time. Or they're a lower calorie 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is not the same. Yeah. Yeah. Or you just don't have the data to prove it. But you could have the data.
Or it's just not consistent. It's not consistent. Long enough to
it's not consistent long enough
to see results.
There you go. Right.
Okay.
So
all right.
Pair the data with the process. That's how you're going to get to learn whether or not you're in quote unquote starvation mode to add in food to change your process.
Yeah.
So that's it. Simple.
Yeah.
Sort of. And if you need help with nutrition coaching, I think Danny will be launching another 7 or a full.
I'm going to be launching both. In September.
She'll be launching a full nutrition, which is going to be a
lot of one-on-one, lots of learning the process.
Learning.
What is maintenance? What is fat loss?
Group calls.
Yeah.
So a little bit of co-working type ideas, and then moving through at the same time. And then plus we'll be doing a 7-7, which is just macros, checking in every 2 weeks on that process.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you join Prevail, one of the first sessions you get inside of Power Pack, we dive into all these things and we give you your nutrition equation. We check in with you every quarter about that nutrition equation, see if we need to make adjustments. Mm-hmm. For those that are ready to go by themselves, we'll give you all the ammunition you need. When you come into the Student as Prevail, you have access to InBody at any point you want to. So you can learn your data and you can track as least amount of things you want to at any given time. And you can also join Prevail and not have a body composition goal and just want to be healthy and stronger.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope. Just real pregnant
Real
over here.
pregnant right here. We are going to be doing some fun, fun is a strange word. But we're going to be trying to get as much in-body data as soon as Andy's in this world.
You just said her name on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you got to this point in the podcast, do you know her name?
Okay. Yeah, which I'm nervous and excited about because I got pregnant at a very good point in my own process. I liked where all of my numbers were sitting, and things be looking different now.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see once all the swelling,
inflammation, big inflammation,
all those things pull down. See exactly what happened to muscle mass and body fat percentage to sustain a pregnancy, to get pregnant, to maintain a healthy pregnancy. What those numbers look like.
Yeah, we were gonna try to do that within 7 days of birth. I mean, hopefully at least within the first 10 days.
Yeah.
After she's here.
Right.
So
yeah, as part of the science experiment, getting that data as close to post when you're looking 3 months from now will give us the most amount of information. If we can start that one time a week.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like 7 days post and every 7 days after acquiring data, that's going to give us the most amount of information about the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see for both of us, maybe.
Yeah, and then I'll keep you guys in my loop on what my process will be after. There will be a lot of recovery and healing first. So, but
yeah. We'll push things at the right level of intensity, which is what's approachable, and maintainable and healthy. And it's not like we're gonna come 7 days later and be like, okay, well, better eat 1,000 calories a day and
crash
work
diet
out 7 days a week
while we're trying to breastfeed and
right.
all
No. It'll be finding the recipe and learning that new recipe for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a new learning experience as well. Okay, cool. Underlying tones here.
Starvation mode isn't a thing.
Yep, and we learn from the process based on principles.
Yes. More data, the better.
More data, the better. There you go. Hope that helps. If you are on YouTube, comment below at anything. You can say things like and subscribe. Go to Danny_Prevail on Instagram, Prevail Strength _ Find us everywhere. If you'd love to have us dive into anything else on the podcast, just comment below. Send us a message and say, hey, I would love to learn about blanky blank.
Blanky blank. All right.